Hey guys, this is JJ with Express Workshops, and today I have a quick tip using the crop tool. Now I know what you're thinking, the crop tool. It's got to be the most boring tool in the whole arsenal of Photoshop. But you know what? It really is a powerful tool, and with Photoshop CC, which is the version that I'm using, I definitely have stepped up the game. Let me go through some of the things that you may know already and maybe some things that you don't know already about the crop tool. Okay, first thing, you have to know where the crop tool is. It's right over here. When you click on the crop tool, it's going to go ahead and give you a boundary around your image. All right. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can go up here to the top and you can set different set ratios. So let's just say that you wanted to do something for video. I mean, I shoot a lot of video and I want to make a still image something that I can use. Now I'll shoot in HD, so I can go here and do the 16:9. It's going to give me all of the proportion that I need here, and I can move that to whatever part of the image that I want to use and click the check mark up here at the top, and that's my crop. Okay. That's a real simple way of using it. I'm going to undo that. I can also go up here and use some pre-made or some presets that are useful in everyday life. Like here's an 8.5 by 11. All right, I can go here and I can use that crop. Now, one of the things, if you already have a preset set, you're going to see that at the top here, it's going to give you the values. It's the 8.5 by 11. You can also switch those by just clicking this button here, and it'll give you your ratio that way. You can do your resolution here, and you can do it by pixels per inch or pixels per centimeter. And if you don't want that, you can clear those settings. Okay. Then let's go back here, and we're going to say do not crop. We can actually straighten in here. We can use the straighten tool. Now this image that I took on a cruise ship, it actually needed some straightening. So to use the straightening tool, you just click, hold, and drag on a line that you believe should be level. So this railing I think would be level, and I'm going to go ahead and just extend it out and let that go, and it'll do the crop, and I can say okay. So now there's my crop with the straighten that I want to do. So that works out good. I'm going to undo that again. And notice here at the top there are some attributes or some buttons that you can use when you use the crop tool. One of the things that you can use is the grid overlays. It will default to the rule of thirds. So whenever I actually click on here, I'm going to see the rule of thirds grid. I can change that by just a grid. I can go to diagonal. I can do all kinds of funky stuff here. The golden ratio, even if you're crazy and you want to use that. Okay, so the grid is just a way of lining things up. So if I want to use didn't want to use the straightening tool, I could have the grid there. I could go to this one here, maybe that has more, and say I wanted to line one of these lines up with that grid. I could just go ahead and move that so that it lines up with my grid. All right, I'm going to undo that. Let's see, what else can we find here? One of the things too in some of the later versions of Photoshop is that you can uncheck this delete crop pixels. So what that's going to allow me to do is go ahead and just make my crop. All right, I made my crop here. That's the way I want it. And then let's say I want to go ahead and do some other things. So let me go ahead and just do a levels adjustment. This is not going to be anything that I'm going to use, but just to show you that I can go ahead and make other things. Maybe I'll do a hue saturation, bring the saturation down, and then go back to my layers. And then I decide, hey, wait a minute, that crop, I didn't really want that crop. So I can go back in on my crop and see it kept all that information so that I can do a recrop if I want to and I didn't lose the information that was there. All right, that's another way you can use it. Let me go back a couple times here to my original. And one of the things that people don't realize is that not only can you subtract things from a photograph, you can actually add. So let's just say that you wanted to do a banner for Facebook or your web page or whatever, and you wanted to use this photograph, but you wanted to make it so that it cropped differently. Okay, let me explain what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna go ahead and just freeform my crop here. I'm gonna move this in kind of the way I want it there. And then off to the side here, I'm gonna wanna put some lettering. So I can extend this out past where there's actually an image. And when I say okay, it makes that crop for me, but on this area here, I can just select that area, go up to Edit, Fill, Content Aware, say okay, hope it doesn't take forever. And it will go in and analyze the area around it and then attempt to fill this with, wait for it, still waiting. I thought my computer was faster than this. There we go. Another image there. So I can deselect that. And I just happen to have some lettering over here ready to go. I can grab this lettering and I can drag that onto, look at that, onto my new, I'm going to go ahead and size this out, just like that, onto my new crop. All right, so that's just some things that you can do with the crop tool. Investigate the crop tool. It seems like it's kind of gets a bad rep as being a very, very boring tool. But if you take a look at it, there's probably things that you find that you just really didn't understand or realize that the crop tool could do for you. Okay, that's it. Thanks for looking at my video, and subscribe to my channel so that I can see that there's people out there that are interested in what I'm doing. If you want to see a tutorial on a certain tool or a certain technique inside of Photoshop, just leave me a message below, and I will see you next week. Thanks a lot.